Hello, Solar Pros. I hope you're having a good Tuesday today. I thought I would make a quick video and share one of my best practices of working with realtors and turning realtors into a good referral resource. Every once in a while, another solar pro in the group will ask, like, hey, how do you work with realtors, or how do you connect with realtors, or how do you get realtors to see the value of solar? And what has worked for me is if solar is something that you foresee yourself being involved with for the next 5-10 years, like this is not just something you're doing to pay the bills, or you're just getting started and you're checking it out, but you really have a commitment for it, then I would recommend that you join a networking group like BNI. There's also Latip, or they're everywhere. And usually inside that networking group, they'll have like a painter, they'll have a realtor, they'll have a bug guy, they'll have one professional from each industry, and hopefully they have 30-40 professionals in that group, and you can be the solar consultant in that group. You're usually going to pay an annual fee, and then you got to buy lunch and dues and things like that. But anytime I've ever participated in a group like that and committed, like, it always has ROI'd. So I would definitely join a networking group. And before you just join, make sure you check out a few, because they're all going to vary from one group to another, even within BNI or even within Letip. Like, some groups are going to be packed, and some are going to be super small. And because you're joining specifically to network with the realtor, you want to make sure that the realtor is approachable and you get along, you have good energy with them. But start there. Second of all is, reach out to the real estate school. Like here, it's the Arizona Board of Real Estate, where everybody will go and get their materials to study, and then they'll pass the test. They'll be a licensed realtor, because a realtor, if they stay in the realtor business, they have to take continuing education. And for me, there were a couple of realtors that had, for continuing education, they would have segments like green energy or energy efficiency. And so when they're teaching those courses, and then the realtors participating get 6 hours of continuing ed, counting towards their license requirements. As a solar company, you can sponsor those events. So, and when you sponsor, you're going to get in front of 10, 20, 30, 50 realtors, and can present yourself as a reference. So, because more and more homes, as they go up for sale, are either going to have solar on them, or I live in Phoenix. If somebody moves to Phoenix from Wisconsin or Washington or anywhere, usually their first professional contact is their realtor. So they'll usually reach out to their realtor, like, hey, who would I call to get a proposal for a solar project for our home? And then usually at that point, that realtor's in perfect position to go, oh, hey, call Sonny, here's his number. Or, oh, I hate solar, don't do it, solar is crap. So for all those realtors that are like, oh, don't do it, solar's crap, because they're thinking that somehow a solar project is going to screw up their resale, you want to win those realtors over. And the way to do that is just like what I'm doing right here. You want to share value. So when you meet realtors or you're networking with realtors, You want to just offer to be of service. That's it. Like if you get a deal out of it eventually, like bonus, but most likely you are not. However, be an ambassador for the solar industry. That was my whole angle and remains my whole angle. So I would present in front of the realtors like, hey, if you ever are working with a home and it's got a lease, a solar lease, or a system that's been installed, and you want it inspected, or you want just kind of the production numbers evaluated, like let me know. I'm happy to help. So all of a sudden, as time goes on, maybe you have 15, 20 realtors reaching back out to you going, hey, how do I get this Tesla solar lease transferred over to the buyer? Which it's really easy, guys. Like most often, or a SunPower lease, like most often you're gonna go, oh hey, oh, that's actually really easy. You call the 1-800 SunPower line. But they're viewing you as the 411, the info, and you want to be associated. When they think solar, they think you. So offer value, offer to help, even if it doesn't mean a new project because you got a phone call or you exchanged an email or two. Like just continue to offer help. And then once you're like on the ground level, like you kind of have some dialogue with one of the realtors, offer to host a lunch and learn. All those realtors most likely, they belong to a team, and then there's a broker above them, and that broker once a month or every couple months, they'll go through housekeeping issues or things that they're doing as a team. Again, offer to sponsor that. You buy a bunch of sandwiches and they give you 5 minutes to just kind of introduce yourself, but then now all of a sudden you've got 20 new faces that might be in position one day to go, I don't know much about it, but call this guy or call this gal. You know what I mean? And so it's all about the establishing that relationship. And in order to establish that relationship, you need to put yourself in position to meet those realtors. And so definitely take advantage of networking groups. Reach out to local real estate offices, and kind of like an outside sales position, show up to the office, introduce yourself, leave some marketing material, follow up, but it isn't, you can't come across as yet you're trying to sell solar. You have to come across as genuine, authentic, that you want to help. That's what you're doing, because most often you are going to help a buyer maybe understand the solar system that's on the house that they're buying. You're not going to get a project out of that. Now down the road, maybe they'll want a battery. Or if you leave a good impression when they meet one of the neighbors, or they have coworkers or people they go to church with, they'll recommend you. That's all you're doing, is you're just giving away as much as you possibly can in hopes that you're kind of planting seeds for projects to grow down the road. So realtors have been an awesome referral source for me, and it's come from networking, sponsoring, and really putting myself out there to be known as, my name's Sonny, so it's really easy. I'm Sonny the solar guy, God's little joke, ha ha ha. It's really corny, but everybody laughs. And just kind of, networking and getting out there and making yourself available to share and helping. And because people might not know where to turn to, or they call and they hear that there's a 2-hour wait for SunPower customer service, and they might have an easy question, and maybe it's an easy question that you could help them out with. Who knows? But you want them associating your name with solar. That way, when eventually they have a customer that's like, hey, should I put solar on my home? They go, well, I don't know, but here's a good person to speak to that I know will treat you right, give you good information, and won't be high pressure or something like that. You want them endorsing you. And one thing about when you join a networking group is if you're going to be in front of people and you're slowly weaving it in there that, hey, let me know if you ever want to see what solar would, how it would help you and what it would look like for you, is you do in turn have to kind of use those people as, participate in their business. So I bought my share of Mary Kay Cosmetics, did result in the project. I've definitely, established exterminator contracts and things like that. So it is kind of an exchange, like, you scratch my back, I scratch yours type of thing. So be prepared for that if you do join networking groups, that you are going to have to, maybe use the graphics guy or the printer and things like that. But you're going to want to, because they're going to want, the theory is that they are then looking for opportunities for you. So there's just a couple of ideas of working with realtors that have been very successful for me. Hope you guys have a great day. Happy selling. We'll see ya.